cold wind moved through the broken stone ruins, carrying dust, dry leaves, and the quiet sound of a lonely world. In the middle of the ruins sat a thin alien girl with long silver hair that had lost its shine many years ago. Her eyes were covered with an old cloth, and even without seeing, she knew these ruins better than anyone else. She had lived here for 10 years, ever since her own people blinded her and left her to die. Her name was Linara. She used to dream of bright colors and warm sun, but now her world was only darkness and silence. She listened to every sound around her because listening was the only thing that kept her alive. She could hear every insect crawling, every stone rolling, even every bird landing on old walls. She survived by remembering these tiny sounds. But today, something felt different. She heard the wind stop for a moment. Then she heard a strange sound far away, heavy steps pressing into earth and gravel. Not her people's steps, not hunters, not animals. These footsteps were slow, steady, and heavy. Human footsteps. Her heart jumped. Humans never came here. Some alien elders told scary stories about humans, how they were warriors, how they could kill with their bare hands, how they were unpredictable. Linara felt fear rise inside her like a wave. Her body froze. She pressed her back against the cold wall and held her breath. The footsteps grew closer. She heard the sound of metal touching metal. Maybe weapons, maybe armor. She did not know. But she knew something for sure. This human was big, strong, dangerous. She tried to stand, but her legs were weak. She had not eaten properly for days. When she took a step, her foot hit a stone. She slipped and fell hard on the floor. Dust filled her mouth, and she bit her lip trying not to cry. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Then a voice, deep, soft, calm. "Hey, I heard you fall. Are you hurt?" Linara's heart shook. The voice did not sound angry. It did not sound like a killer. It sounded gentle, but she could not trust him. Not yet. She crawled backward, her hands shaking. "Stay away," she whispered. "Please, don't hurt me." The human stepped closer. His boots made soft thuds on the stone ground. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said. "I'm just passing through. I have food and water. If you want help, say it. If not, I walk away." Linara froze. No one had offered her help in 10 long years. She felt her throat tighten. She wanted to ask for water. She wanted to ask for food. She wanted to ask for safety. But in her world, asking for anything always brought pain. Suddenly, she heard another sound, his backpack dropping to the ground. Then something else, a soft bottle shaking. Water. The smell of fresh water made her mouth dry. She did not move, but she could not hide her hunger. The human understood. "I leave the bottle right here," he said. She heard him place it on the ground near her. "If you want it, take it. I won't touch you." Then she heard him take 2 steps back. Linara slowly reached forward. Her fingers touched the bottle. It was cool, real. Her hands trembled as she opened it and took a small sip. The water felt like life flowing into her. A warm tear ran down her face. "Thank you," she whispered without meaning to. "You're welcome," the human said kindly. She felt his voice like a soft blanket. But she still feared him. "Why are you helping me?" she asked. He sat down on a broken block of stone. "My name is Revan. I was searching for supplies. I didn't expect to find someone living here." Linara swallowed. "I've lived here for a long time." Revan asked gently, "Do you have a home, family, anyone?" She shook her head. "No, my people left me." Revan's voice changed, filled with anger but not toward her. "They left you? Like this?" She nodded slowly. "They blinded me. They said I did a crime. But I never understood what crime it was." Revan stayed silent for a long moment. She could hear his breath, slow and heavy. She wondered what expression was on his face. Was he angry at her? Was he feeling pity? She wished she could see. Then he spoke softly. You didn't deserve this. No one does. His words felt strange to her, comforting, dangerous, hopeful, but hope was dangerous too. Before she could reply, she heard something else, a sound she had not heard in many years. A clicking sound, metal against stone. Someone or something was watching them from the shadows. Lynara felt a cold fear crawl up her spine. The ruins were no longer safe, and neither was she. Revan sat on the broken stone while Lynara held the water bottle like it was the most precious thing in the world. She took slow, careful sips while her hands shook again and again. Her blind eyes faced the ground, but her ears stayed sharp, listening for every tiny movement around her. The strange, clicking sound in the ruins still echoed in her mind like a warning from the shadows. Revan noticed her fear and spoke in a slow, gentle voice. I promise you, you are safe with me. I am not your enemy, and I will not hurt you. His voice was steady and warm like sunlight she had forgotten long ago, but Lynara did not trust easily. Her life taught her that kindness always had a price, and trust always brought pain. Why are you helping me? She whispered. Her voice trembled like a small leaf in strong wind. She hugged her knees close, trying to make her small body feel safer. Raven looked at her carefully. You look like someone who has suffered more than anyone should. He said, I cannot walk away from that. I cannot pretend I did not see you here. Alone, Lynara felt something strange in her chest. These words should have made her happy, but instead they scared her. Kindness from strangers never lasted. Kindness always turned to cruelty when people discovered she was blind and useless. She asked again, why are you really here, Revan? Why would a human help someone like me? Revan stood up slowly and walked toward her. He made sure his steps were loud enough so she would know exactly where he was. I am here because I was searching for supplies. He said, I did not come looking for you, but now that I found you, I cannot leave you behind. You deserve help and safety, and maybe even hope. The word hit her like a wave and her breath got stuck in her throat. 10 years passed without hope. 10 years of darkness, hunger, loneliness, cold nights, and silent tears. Now this human spoke about hope like it was something she could still reach. Before she could speak, the clicking sound returned, louder and sharper. This time Revan instantly turned around, hand moving to the knife on his belt. Stay behind me, he said. Lynara crawled closer to the wall, her heart racing. Her world was made of sounds, and right now everything around her sounded dangerous. A long moment passed with no sound except wind. Then Revan slowly relaxed his hand. I think it was only an old machine piece falling from above, he said. These ruins are full of broken metal. But Lynara shook her head. No, that sound was the sound of a tracker. It is used by soldiers to search for people who escape. Revan looked at her in shock. Someone is searching for you. But while Lynara did not want to answer, she hugged herself tightly. They blinded me because I witnessed something they wanted to hide, she whispered. I saw their soldiers throw a child into a deep ravine, and when I tried to save the child, they called me a traitor. They destroyed my eyes to silence me and left me to die. Revan felt anger rise inside him like fire. His hands tightened. You were punished for trying to save a child. That is not justice. That is evil. Lynara felt his anger, and it made her feel strange. A warmth touched her heart. Was this human angry for her sake? No one had ever been angry for her before. No one ever cared this much. Revan knelt beside her again. Look, Lynara, I know someone, a doctor. He can maybe repair your eyes. He can maybe bring back your sight. Her breath stopped. Sight, she did not even dare to dream about that for years. She felt tears roll down her cheeks. She wanted to believe him. She wanted to see again. She wanted to see this human's face. She wanted to see light again, but fear wrapped around her like chains. What if he lied? What if he left her halfway? What if soldiers were still hunting her? What if the doctor failed? What if this was all another cruel trick? Revan reached out slowly, placing his hand near hers, but not touching unless she allowed it. I will not force you, he said, but I will protect you and take you to safety if you say the word. I promise you will not be alone again. Lynara listened to the wind, listened to Revan, breathed in the cold air, and made a choice that would change her life forever. "Take me with you," she whispered. Then somewhere hidden in the ruins, the clicking sound returned again, this time following them. Revan helped Lenara stand as they moved out of the ruins, step by slow step. Lenara lifted her face to the wind, trying to understand every sound around her. Her world was made of echoes and empty spaces, and she followed the sound of Revan's boots, like they were the only safe path in a dangerous land. The clicking noise they heard earlier did not return, but Lenara still felt it in her bones. That sound was not from nature. It belonged to a machine used by soldiers to track runaway criminals or witnesses. The thought made her heart shake. They were coming. They would not stop until she was gone forever. Raven noticed her fear. He walked close but careful not to make her uncomfortable. "Are you sure you want to travel with me?" he asked softly. "This journey will be long, and your past seems full of danger." Lenara held her old cloth band tighter around her eyes. "I have no safe place in this world," she said. "If soldiers find me here, I will die. If I stay in the ruins, I will die. If you leave me, I will die." She paused. Then she added with a trembling voice, "With you, I feel I still have a lift." Revan felt something tighten in his chest. Hearing those words made him realize how cruel her world had been. He wanted to speak, but Lenara continued. With a quiet voice, "You asked me why they blinded me. I will tell you, but you must be ready. It is not a small thing. It is a truth that killed man." Revan nodded. "Tell me everything." Lenara breathed slowly, gathering courage. "I was only 12 when it happened. Our village lived near a deep ravine, a place where strong winds cry like wounded spirits. One evening I heard a child screaming from the edge. I ran to help, but I arrived too late. 2 soldiers stood there holding a little girl. They threw her into the darkness." Palarevan stopped walking. Shock hit him like a wave. "They threw a child," he said in disbelief. "Yes," Lenara whispered. "They said she was born with a mark that the leaders feared. They called her cursed, but she was only a child." I screamed and begged them to stop. They turned toward me and called me a traitor. They said I would tell the truth to others and cause rebellion." Revan clenched his fists. The night must have been cold and cruel for a young girl. And yet she still tried to do what was right. Lenara continued. "On that same night, they took me to the center of the village. They tied my hands. They said if I wanted to see evil, that I must see nothing forever. They burned my eyes with a heated iron. I could smell my own skin. I could hear the villagers watching in silence. No one helped me. No one cried for me. Then they left me near the ravine to die." Raven closed his eyes for a moment, trying to contain his anger. Lenara stood silent, waiting, afraid of how he would react. Instead, he took a deep breath and spoke with a strong, steady voice. "Lenara, you did nothing wrong. You were punished by monsters who feared the truth. You are not the criminal here. They are." Those words felt like warm rain on Lenara's heart. She had lived 10 years believing maybe she deserved it. But this human spoke with certainty and strength, like he saw her soul. They walked further until the ruins disappeared behind them. The path ahead was rough, full of broken metal pieces and old wires from abandoned machines. Lenara stepped carefully, trusting Revan to guide her. She could sense the world opening again, piece by piece. Revan spoke again. "You said someone is using a tracker to follow us. Do you know who might be leading them?" Lenara nodded slowly. "The man who ordered my punishment was known as Commander Varkan, a ruthless leader. He believes fear keeps order. He will never allow me to live because I carry a truth that can destroy him." Raven felt a heavy feeling in his chest. "So this commander is still hunting her." He looked at the sky and whispered, "He will not touch you again. I swear that on my life." Lenara heard the promise. Her breath trembled. She wanted to believe it, but she knew Varkan was powerful. Her survival felt like a miracle that would not last forever. Then the sound returned, not close but far in the distance. A long, sharp clicking followed by a second one. Revan and Lenara both stopped. The wind carried the echo to them like a warning. Tracker units were moving. They were not searching randomly. They were coming straight toward them. Lenara felt her knees weaken. Revan grabbed her arm gently. "We must move faster," he said. "They have your scent. They will not stop until they find you." And with the sun Going down behind the mountains, the shadows around them started to grow, making the world feel colder and more dangerous with every step. Asterisk night slowly covered the land as Revan guided Lynara through broken paths, old metal fields, and dark empty hills. The fading sunlight turned the world silent and cold, but Lynara stayed close to Revan, listening to every footstep, every breath, every shift in the wind. She feared the trackers behind them, but she feared losing Revan even more. Evan kept checking the horizon. He knew they had little time. Tracker units were fast and merciless. If soldiers were behind them, they would attack without warning. Lynara could not fight. She could not run quickly. He had to protect her no matter the cost. After walking for hours, they reached a hidden place between two cliffs. Inside the narrow space stood an old human outpost built long before humans left this planet. The walls were broken, but the structure still worked with the help of small power cores that glowed with faint blue light. Revan placed his hand on a scanner. The door slid open. With a low hum, Lynara heard the sound and stepped back. "What is this place?" "Revan, a safe place," he answered, "or at least safer than the ruins. Come inside. You will not be alone tonight." His words made her chest feel warm in a way she had forgotten. She slowly walked into the outpost. The air smelled cleaner. She could hear machines humming quietly and soft human voices whispering in different rooms. Her heart beat fast. She had not been around people in 10 years. "Others live here?" she asked. "Yes. Revan said they are friendly. They will not hurt you." A young woman approached them. Lynara could hear her soft steps and the gentle sound of fabric moving. She asked, "Who is she?" "Revan. She is injured and blind. We must help her," Revan replied. "She is Lynara. She needs rest, food, and safety." And then he added with a firm voice, "And she needs the doctor." The young woman gasped. "The doctor? Are you sure, Revan?" "Her injuries are old, very old," Revan answered. "I do not care how old. They blinded her for something she did not do. She deserves a chance to see again." The woman nodded and guided Lynara to a small medical room. Lynara reached out her hand, feeling the bed, feeling the warm blankets, feeling the soft ground under her feet. She sat down, slowly breathing in the strange air. She felt fear and hope mixing together inside her like two storms crashing. Grievin stayed beside her. Lynara felt his presence like a shield. He said softly, "The doctor will arrive soon. He's the best we have." Lynara lowered her head. "Why are you doing this, Revan? Why are you giving me all this? Why do you care?" A raven sighed. "I care because you were treated worse than any person should be treated. I care because someone must stand with you, and I care because you did not fail that child. You tried to save her. You deserve a second chance." Lynara felt tears rise. She covered her eyes even though the cloth was still there. Revan reached out and touched her shoulder, carefully letting her know she was not alone. Then the door opened. Heavy steps entered the room. The doctor arrived. Lynara heard his tools clinking and his voice calm and older. "Bring more light here," he said. "Let me examine her." Revan held Lynara's hand so she would not be afraid. The doctor removed the old cloth from her eyes. Lynara trembled. She felt cold air touch her scarred skin. The doctor breathed in slowly. "These scars are deep, but the nerves are not all dead. There's a chance, a small one, but a chance." Hope filled the room like warm fire. Revan squeezed her hand. Lynara felt her heart shake like a young tree in strong wind. The doctor continued, "The procedure will be painful. She will need rest. She will need protection, and it must be done soon." Her eyes are delicate after so many years. Before Lynara could respond, the outpost alarm suddenly screamed through the walls. A loud rising siren that made the floor shake. A raven jumped to his feet. Soldiers, tracking units approaching from the east. Everyone prepare. Lynara felt fear explode inside her. She reached for Revan, her voice shaking. "They found us." "Did they find Raven?" Placed his hand over hers. "I will not let them touch you. I will fight for you, even if I must stand alone." Lynara wanted to stand, but her legs failed. The doctor stepped back quickly, shouting, "We must move her. She cannot stay here." Outside, heavy footsteps, echoes, and metallic sounds filled the air. The soldiers were close and growing closer with every heartbeat. Raven looked at Lynara with fierce determination. "Stay behind me," he said. "I promised I would protect you, and I will not break that promise." Door shook once, then again, harder, stronger. The enemy was right outside, ready to break in, and Lynara knew in that moment that this human would not leave her. Not now, not ever. The alarm screamed through the outpost like a wounded beast warning everyone that danger was breaking through the darkness. Lynara felt her heart beating faster, breath shaking her hands, clutching the edge of the medical bed as she tried to understand every sound around her. The soldiers were coming, and they were coming for her. Revan stood in front of her, ready to fight. His voice was steady but strong. "Doctor, prepare her for movement and keep the lights dim. If they see too much, they will know exactly who we are hiding." The doctor nodded quickly. Lynara could hear tools being moved, cloth being folded, and machines humming louder than before. She felt overwhelmed. Every sound, every movement, every breath felt like a heavy weight pressing on her chest. Revan touched her arm. "Lynara, listen to me. You must stay calm. I will not let them take you. I will not let them hurt you again." "Lynara," whispered Revan, "what if the surgery fails? What if my eyes cannot be fixed? What if you fight for nothing?" Revan knelt beside her. "Lynara, I am not fighting for your eyes. I am fighting for you. Even if you never see again, your life still matters." You must understand that his words hit her heart like warm rain. She had never been told she mattered, not once in 10 long years. Now this human stood ready to fight an entire force for her. The doctor returned. "I can begin the surgery, but it must be now or never. The nerves in her eyes are delicate. They cannot wait. The trackers will break in soon, but if we do not try now, she may never have a chance again." Lynara held her breath. Surgery now. Soldiers outside. Revan bleeding and fighting. The world was spinning, but she knew one thing. Someone finally cared for her. Someone finally believed she deserved to live. She lifted her head and whispered with trembling hope, "I want to try. I want to see again. I want to see the world. I want to see your face." Revan felt something deep inside him shift. Hearing her say that made him stronger than any weapon. He stood and faced the door. Soldiers outside pounded on the metal again and again. The walls shook, dust fell from the ceiling, and the loud echo of metal boots filled the hall. Doctor gently guided Lynara onto the surgical table. She lay down, slowly, her hands gripping the sides. Her whole body trembled, but she forced herself to stay still. She trusted Revan. She trusted this moment for the first time in 10 years. She trusted hope. The doctor said, "Revan, keep them distracted. I need quiet to work. Her life depends on it." Revan nodded and ran to the entrance. His boots hit the ground hard. Lynara listened to his movement, trying to imagine his expression. Was he scared? Was he angry? She wished she could see him just once before the darkness faded forever outside. Revan shouted to the soldiers, "Step back. This outpost is under human protection. You have no authority here." The soldiers shouted back, "Turn over the traitor. Blinded alien girl must be returned by order of Commander Varkan. Any human who protects her will be punished." Lynara heard the words traitor and her body shook. She felt the memory of flames of iron, of screams of darkness swallow her again. But then she heard Revan reply with pure fire in his voice, "She is not a traitor. She is a victim. You will not lay a single hand on her while I am breathing." Then the fight began. Metal clashed. Boots stamped, ground shook. Revan fought outside, swinging his blade, blocking attacks, pushing back soldiers. Lynara could hear every struggle, every rough breath, every step backward and forward. Inside, the doctor worked quickly, placing cool tools around her eyes. His hands moved fast and precise. "You must stay still, Lynara. You must be brave." Lynara whispered, "I am trying," but she could not stop hearing Revan fighting for her life. Revan pushed 2 soldiers back, but more kept coming. His breath grew heavy. His shirt tore. His arm bled. But he refused to move away from the door. He refused to let anyone pass. He fought like every strike was protecting something far more precious than his own life. The doctor whispered to Lynara, "The operation is almost done. Just a little more." Lynara felt something change. A warmth around her eyes, a strange feeling like new life awakening inside her. But the outpost door cracked under a powerful strike. The soldiers were close to breaking it. The metal bent inward and dust exploded from the Hingeriven. Shouted Doctor, hurry! They are coming, and the doctor leaned over her. Lynara, your sight may return. But your eyes need time. They cannot open yet. You must stay strong no matter what happens. Reven braced himself as the final strike hit. The door shattered, soldiers rushed forward, dust filled the air, noise shook the ground, and Lynara lying helpless. On the table whispered Revan, please do not die for me, but Revan did not move. Not even one step. He stood firm, ready to face the entire world for her. Dust filled the air as soldiers stormed into the outpost. Their boots hit the metal floor like thunder, and the sound echoed through every wall. Lynara could not see any of it, but she felt the vibrations shaking under her body. She felt fear growing inside her like a burning storm. She knew the soldiers were here to drag her away and finish what they started 10 years ago. Revan stood between Lynara and the soldiers. His breathing was heavy, his clothes torn, his body tired and hurting, but his stance strong. His voice cut through the chaos. You will not touch her, not while I stand here. The soldiers spread out, forming a line with weapons raised. Commander Varkan stepped forward. His deep voice filled the room with cold, sharp authority. The blind witness is alive. I expected your kind to be foolish human, but not this foolish. Revan moved his blade into guard position. Lynara heard the metal and felt her heart twist. She wanted to sit up. She wanted to run. She wanted to help, but she could not see, and her body was weak from the surgery. The doctor placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Stay still. Lynara, your eyes need time. If you open them now, you may lose everything. She could only listen to the battle building before her. Revan stepped forward. Varkan, this girl is innocent. You blinded her to hide your crime. You killed a child and punished her for trying to save a life. Varkan laughed a dark, cold laugh. The girl saw what she should not have seen, so she lost what she should not have kept. He lifted his blade and pointed at Revan. Step aside, human. You have no part in this, Revan replied. I do now. Varkan charged forward, and the fight exploded. Metal clashed against metal. Soldiers moved around them. The ground shook with every strike. Lynara heard every blow, every grunt, every moment. Revan was pushed back or forced to block again, and again. She gripped the edge of the bed, her knuckles turning pale. Revan fought hard, but he was outnumbered. A soldier struck his arm. Lynara heard the sharp sound of pain escape his mouth. She gasped. Revan. He forced himself to stay standing, his voice low and shaking. I am fine. Lynara, stay calm. Stay safe, the doctor whispered to her. He is fighting for you. You must believe in him. Lynara felt tears slide down her cheeks. She wanted to open her eyes so badly. She wanted to see Revan fighting for her. She wanted to see him alive, but the doctor warned her again. Not yet, your eyes must rest. Outside, the battle continued. Revan blocked one strike, then another, but his breath grew heavier. His feet slid against the floor. He was bleeding, but he still moved with fierce determination. Then Varkan lifted his weapon high, ready to deliver a final deadly blow. Lynara sensed death coming. She felt her entire body freeze. She whispered, Revan, please no. At that exact moment, something inside her eyes changed. A warmth, a spark, a soft pulse of light, like a sunrise pushing through darkness. She felt the world shifting around her. She felt her body respond to something new. The doctor leaned close. Lynara, do not open yet. Not until I say, but she could not wait. The warmth grew. The darkness inside her mind thinned. Something bright pushed forward. She felt colors she did not yet understand, shapes she could not name, but she knew sight was coming. Then she heard Revan fall to one knee, his blade hit the ground. Varkan laughed. Your human strength is over. Lynara felt something break inside her, a pain far stronger than fear. She whispered one small word, Revan. The word shook in the air like a fragile prayer, and with that she could not wait any longer. She opened her eyes. Light exploded inside her vision. It was too bright, too sharp, too overwhelming, but she did not close them. Instead, she blinked slowly, shapes forming in the blur, shadows turning into outlines, colors painting the world. The first thing she saw was Revan kneeling before Varkan, his face bruised, his eyes determined, his body refusing to fall. For the first time in 10 years, she could see him. Tears filled her new sight. Her hand reached forward with trembling fingers. "Revan," she said in a voice filled with awe and fear and hope. Revan turned his head, hearing her voice, seeing her eyes open for the first time. He froze in shock. "Lenara, you can see," she nodded, tears falling like rain. "Yes, I can see." Varkan stepped back, confused then furious. "You were supposed to remain blind forever." Lenara stood slowly, legs shaking, vision blurry, but alive. She faced the man who destroyed her life, and for the first time she saw the monster behind the voice. Revan pushed himself up, gathering strength again. "Lenara, stay behind me." But Lenara took one step forward. "No, Revan, I can stand now, I can see now, and I will not hide anymore." Her voice filled the room, stronger than fear, brighter than the new light in her eyes. "If you want Part 7, 700 words, nitrogen monoxide. Nitrogen monoxide, just say Part 7, start Karobai. Lenara stood with shaking legs as the world formed in front of her. Her sight was new and fragile, but the colors, shapes, and light felt like a miracle. Her heart beat fast as she looked around, seeing faces, walls, weapons, and finally Revan, a human who fought for her, a human who bled for her, a human who refused to leave her. She whispered his name softly. "Revan." Revan turned, eyes wide with shock and relief, seeing her stand on her own feet. "You can see, Lenara, you really can see." His voice trembled with happiness, even though his body carried wounds and pain. But their moment was cut short. Commander Varkan stepped forward, fury burning in his eyes. "This was never supposed to happen. You should have died, blind alien girl. You should never have seen my face again." Lenara felt fear touch her heart, but it did not stay long. For the first time she looked directly at the man who destroyed her life. He was tall, armored, eyes sharp like cold metal. His presence felt heavy like poison in the air. But she did not look away. She did not hide. She spoke with a steady voice. "Everyone, listen to me. 10 years ago, I saw this man and his soldiers throw a child into the ravine. They killed an innocent girl. They called her cursed. They called her dangerous. But she was only a child. I tried to save her. I tried to stop them. For that I was blinded. I was left to die." The room grew quiet as humans and soldiers heard every word. Her voice reached every corner of the outpost. Strong and brave Revan moved closer to her, ready to fight if Varkan stepped even 1 inch forward. Varkan raised his blade and shouted, "Lies! She is a traitor, a danger to the order. She must be silenced again." But Lenara stepped forward, surprising everyone. She lifted her hand, pointed at him, and said, "You fear the truth. That is why you blinded me. That is why you hunted me. That is why you came here to kill me again." Raven felt pride rise inside him. The girl who once trembled in fear now stood with the strength of a storm. A few soldiers exchanged looks, doubt growing in their eyes. One soldier whispered, "She speaks like she saw everything. What if she is telling the truth?" Varkan roared, "Silence." He charged forward, blade raised to strike. Lenara down. Revan moved instantly, his body a wall of strength. He blocked Varkan's attack with everything he had. The sound of metal rang through the room. Lenara gasped as sparks flew between them. Revan pushed Varkan back, though blood ran down his arm. Varkan stepped back, anger burning brighter. "You protect her like she is worth something." "She is nothing," Revan answered with fire in his voice. "She is everything. She is brave, she is innocent, and she is not alone anymore." Lenara heard his words and felt her heart grow warm, a warmth she had not felt in 10 years. She moved to Revan's side, not behind him, but beside him as an equal. She faced the soldiers who once hunted her and spoke again. "If you wish to follow a commander who kills children, then attack us. But if you want truth, justice, and a world that is not built on fear, then stand with us." Silence filled the air. Then slowly a few soldiers lowered their weapons. Then more. Then one stepped forward and removed his helmet and said, "Commander, we did not sign up to kill children or blind witnesses. This is not justice." Varkan turned on them, rage turning his face red. "You dare betray me?" But the room was no longer his. Soldiers backed away from him, forming a wall that no longer belonged to him. Revan stepped forward and held His blade steady. Varkan, your rule ends today. Varkan attacked one last time, but this time, Revan did not fight alone. Lenara grabbed a metal pole from the floor and struck Varkan's arm, making him drop his weapon. Her strike was weak but filled with courage. Revan used that moment to disarm him completely and push him to the ground. The soldiers restrained Varkan, dragging him away while he shouted curses that no longer had power. Lenara watched him go, her hands shaking, her eyes filled with tears. Not of fear, but of release. The nightmare was over. Revan turned to her, breath heavy, but eyes soft. Lenara, are you all right? She looked at him, clearly seeing his face for the first time. His tired eyes, his brave expression, his gentle smile. She touched his cheek with slow, careful fingers. You are the first person I saw after 10 years, she whispered. You are the first light in my world. Revan felt his heart soften. Lenara, you are safe now, you are free. She stepped outside the outpost for the first time with new eyes. The sky was bright, the wind carried soft colors, the world felt wide and beautiful. She held Revan's hand tightly for the first time in 10 years. She walked into the light, not blind, not alone, but with the human who gave her sight, hope, and a future she never dreamed she could have.